Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs did not get long-term deals by last week's deadline over the weekend. Austin Eckler organized a Zoom call with some of the top running backs in the game to discuss the current financial market for their position, but reports say no major plans emerged from the meeting. As you can see, 7 of the top running backs from last season were at the meeting. So we are lucky enough to have LeSean McCoy at the desk. What is your reaction to the running back meeting?
I love the meeting, though. I truly do love the meeting. I think it's trying to make more people aware of what's going on, and if people are not aware of what they're doing to the running back, I think position as far as the marketing with the money and the market. But the problem I have with the whole thing is we need something more than just running backs because we're at the polls, we're the lowest, right? They don't want to pay us no real money, so it's going to take guys like the quarterbacks. When we're up for a contract with the NFLPA, when we're talking about things that we want in a bargaining agreement, that has to be one of them. Like, how do we make it equal where all the players on the teams are getting equal value contracts, if they're worth it, if they deserve it? A guy like Saquon Barkley, a guy like Josh Jacobs, led the league in rushing last year, shouldn't be trying to fight for a contract, a fair contract. We may fight for more money, but to get a fair contract, he deserves that. And I love the meeting that they had. I just don't see no true value to the meeting because if we don't have other positions like a quarterback who, when he speaks volumes, it speaks volumes. Okay, he wants this, he wants that. Look at the money that they're getting. That's for a reason. So we get quarterbacks in there that speak up. Hey, you know, Patrick Mahomes, we won a championship, but our running back had a lot to do with that. They need paid a certain amount of money. So until that happens, I mean, we'll just have Zoom meetings and we'll all be complaining, like myself complaining about the running back should be getting paid.
TJ?
I mean, for me, it's quarterbacks, they can speak.
They can speak.
What is it going to do? I mean, you talking about, you do need the Pat, the Joes, the Josh, the Lamars, the Jalen's, the Trevors. You need those guys, the Justin Herberts of the world, to have your back. The CBA does not expire till 2030.
That's the issue.
Do all the speaking you want. Have my back all you want. Nothing is going to change. And so this has happened before. When I was playing, the center wasn't valued at all. The center was replaceable. Centers get paid now.
That's right.
The interior lineman, even the guard didn't get paid. Safeties weren't getting paid now these dudes are valued. So it's peaks and valleys with this. I would say 3-4 years, and maybe it's the running back class of this year, the Bijan Robinsons, Jahmyr Gibbs. They are the group that changes this. The meeting was more so just, I guess, seeing how everybody was doing. It's not going to change one thing. These guys are going to still be in this position, and for them, it sucks because when you are, the running back gets the ball more than anybody on the team.
That's right.
So for them to be in this situation, it boggles my mind. But the meeting, I don't know why they had it.
It's a start. It's a start. Now, if it's the end, then it's just a gripe session. And if it's just the top guys, then it's just a gripe session. Who, by the way, probably...
It got to be the top guys, right? Why you want a lower tier guy? What are you going to do?
Well, you need leverage because if the top guys are the only ones who are complaining, the teams are going to do what they've done, which is next man up. We'll just get a guy who calls and move him in. It has to be a concerted, all of the running backs coming together and saying that the position is devalued. Now, chances of that happening are very limited. Everybody is together until it comes down to, yeah, but I gotta protect my own, right? I mean, it's competitive. But if they're going to change the way running backs are looked at and paid in the NFL, then everybody has to come together and make that happen. So, the top guys need to start that. They need to be the leaders in it. But unless they do that, then there's not going to be any change. So that's my whole issue from the very beginning when we saw that Josh Jacobs didn't get paid, right? And Saquon Barkley didn't get paid, is that the only guys complaining were other running backs. It wasn't
everybody else gets paid.
It wasn't. No. But if the running back is as meaningful, Joy, to the team and to an offense, as everybody says, then shouldn't the quarterbacks be speaking up on behalf of their guys?
Well, I mean, as you said, it's a start. It has to start somewhere. So hopefully that's what this meeting was a start of the conversation and not just a one-off getting together, complaining about what's happened. I do think it is a start. The unfortunate thing is CBA is a while out from being renegotiated. Where I get conflicted with the running back position is it sort of swings on a pendulum. You'll have a couple guys get paid really, really, really great money, and then someone will inevitably get injured. It'll tie the team up, and so it'll swing back the other way where the running backs don't matter. They're not really a part of the offense. Okay, we're passing all the time, and then none of the passing teams can get far enough in the playoffs. The running back position is essential to a productive offense, unless you have a guy named Patrick Mahomes. If you don't have Patrick Mahomes, meaning you're every other team in the NFL, you have to have a solid run game. The statistics support that. What did Mike McCarthy come out and say after whatever happened with the Cowboys?
Run that ball.
We're gonna run the ball. You have to run the ball. It balances the offense. It keeps the defense honest. It gives your quarterback a rest. It's essential to a functioning offense. So the problem that running backs are running into is, do you pay someone for previous production or for future production?
There's a little bit of both with every position.
Sure, but the problem is people are petrified of paying for future production with a running back and not getting it. But that's where, to me, there has to be a give and take.
See, but this is my issue with that because, like, I can name you players that hit the market, right, at other positions, that get all this money, and then they don't always pan out, or they might have injuries, but they don't set back their positions, right? I can name a lot of wide receivers that this happens to.
Yeah.
Even dudes like Daniel Jones, like, he had one good year, and it was...
When was that?
Last year.
That was good?
I mean, it was
when
good.
Saquon Barkley played well, he played well.
But what I'm saying is that, like, he just did okay, right? He played okay, and y'all pay him all this money, and y'all won't play the best player on the team who's a running back. So the issue is not just, like, the position at hand, right? We see this all the time in the league where guys get paid and they don't produce, or they may get injured, or they don't be that good. Then they have a good year and they get paid. So I'm just trying to figure out the issue with the running backs. Maybe I was thinking, like, well, maybe it happened because so many low drafted players at the running back market balled out. You know, and like, okay, well, dang, we can use 3 running backs to do one job and pay them smaller. Because I was trying to figure out, like, when did the market really start, you know, becoming so small in the grand scheme of things? And I was thinking maybe it was because of that, because of some backs that got busy, right?
In lower rounds.
So I don't have to draft this guy top 5, top 10, because I get the same production from a guy that's in the 6th round, like Eckler.
I think the biggest thing is this. It's really a case-by-case study. When you look at Saquon Barkley, he was the offense.
Yes, he was.
You look at Jonathan Taylor, minus last year because he was in.
The whole offense.
He's the offense. You look at Joe Mixon. He has a lot of help. And so each team and each running back situation is different. Josh Jacobs was the offense with Devontae. And so each case is different where some guys really they have a point. Like the Saquon Barkley situation boggles my mind because he is the New York Giants offense. When he's on the field, they play well. When he isn't, they don't. It's Derrick Henry. He's the Titans offense. So these guys have a point. But when you start going down the line, it's a collaborative thing. It's the quarterback. It's the offensive line. Like Pat Mahomes may feel a certain way. But Pat Mahomes ain't worried about the running backs. He's worried about Chris Jones getting into camp.
Right.
He ain't worried about these running backs. I need to get Chris Jones in camp.
Yeah.
But I also think that we've seen, and not just with Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of winning a Super Bowl without a running game. I mean, didn't we see the Rams essentially get that done? Yeah. We've seen top teams pay guys, and I'm just looking at the last 10 years where it's gone. In 2013, Adrian Peterson was top in cash that year.
He killed it, yeah.
Made $11.5 million. And then over the next 5 years, it jumped up to the point where Todd Gurley in 2018 made $21 million, 21.9, right? And since then, well, then McCaffrey in 2020 made over 22. But then it started to come back down. And I think we hit this point where we saw, and I think the rules have benefited it. The rules have benefited the passing game. And so teams are able to live off of that a little bit more than the run game. And I would even argue that one of the issues is the rules have shifted to protect wide receivers. They've shifted to protect every skill position more so than the running back. The running back is the one, what rules have changed? Rules have changed to protect quarterbacks. Rules have changed to protect wide receivers. Running backs?
It's almost impossible.
You can still do whatever you want to them, right?
We in there. We in the mix.
Right?
Well, I guess you can't lower. Well, that's against us. We can't lower our heads. to run them over.
But even
Yeah,
how many times? But how many times is that called in close as opposed to out in the secondary?
not.
Right.
But when you're looking at even last year, like the Chiefs didn't have the best running game, right? So we're using that as an example of, okay, well, you don't need a running game. Again, I would argue that Andy Reid kind of makes up for not having a top running back, and Patrick Mahomes himself and Travis Kelce, and they're able to do a lot of creative things while not running the ball as much as other teams. But when you get into the postseason and you get up against other great competition, and it's on the line, and you need a running game to be able to pull off some of these things that you have in your playbook, that you can't just call the same thing and you have to improvise. Right. Not having a run game hurts you. Yes, the Chiefs were 25th in rushing attempts last season. The Rams missed the playoffs. The Jets were 27th. We're just going to go down the list, missed the playoffs. Vikings lost a wild card. Chargers lost a wild card. Texans missed the playoffs. Dolphins lost a wild card. Pattern here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost in the wild card. If you want to move forward in the postseason, you have to have not just a run game, probably a star, probably someone that you can give the ball to and you know they're going to get busy.
I agree with all of that, but it's a matter of what price am I going to pay for it?
So what I really think will have to happen is a couple of these teams will have to get burned. They'll have to lose their guy and try to replace them with someone else, a lower pick, or someone put together a running back by committee, and it doesn't work.
Shady made a good point will I pay for previous production or what I expect in the future? Running back's the only position where you get 2,000 yards. You know what they're going to say?
You're worn out.
Oh, man, he got the ball so many.
Yeah.
We gave him the ball so many
We saw the best of him.
Yes.
This is the best we're going to get.
Yeah.
But if I'm a receiver and I get 1,800 yards, you know what they're going to say the next year? You probably at least get 1,700.
Right.
And so that's the dilemma that they're in. But the special ones, they deserve to get it. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, they deserve to get what they deserve because they've earned it.
But they always try to fight the running backs. Like, even Derrick Henry, when he was up for a deal, I'm like, there's no way they're going to joke and play with him, right? Because, you know, they teams, they do that. They try to save all the money they can save. But I'm thinking, like, okay, there's not a more auto running backs that is more consistent like Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Through injuries, through production. It's like he should get his money.
They rely on him.
Yeah, so I like certain players, it should be no argument. Chubbs, you know, Saquon Barkley, even Josh Jacobs. He's another one. Like, yo, he's been productive every year playing, and he just got a rushing title, which is hard to do.
That's the Raiders.
Why he don't get money?
They should have picked up his fifth-year option.
They didn't even give him an offer. I seen him probably like, what, 2-3 weeks ago, and we were talking. They didn't even give him an offer. I'm like, how do you not offer this guy? It don't even make sense. So I just don't. I'm trying to wrap my mind around this whole running back situation. I don't see how it gets better no time soon, because the deal's not up till 2030.
You were in this position of being a running back. How would you handle it if you're Saquon or Josh Jacobs? How would you approach it?
That's hard, man. Because, like, one thing I thought they should have did earlier is make chaos, right?
Right.
Too quiet about it.
Right.
We'll get a deal done. Nah, this is your money you talking about. There's no friendship. There's no homeboys. There's no, the owner's my guy. Nah, go in there. I need my money. Other players, they go in there from the get-go. Soon as the season's over, taking all the pictures, that's a new thing. Take all the pictures down on Instagram.
We're in a breakup.
Yeah. You got to do it now, because if not, now it's too late. Only time we ever seen the conversation about Saquon or Josh Jacobs, if it was reported, there's still not a deal done. And then Saquon might, you know, tweet something or Josh might tweet. But there hasn't been no real action. Yo, I'm pissed off. I'm not happy. All right, listen. I need the world to know.
Hopefully this meeting is the start of that. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.